dedicate this one to all the haters. Y'all, I'ma show y'all some love. Y'all heard me? Let's get it. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Say what, say what?
Hey, it's Dominic from the Dominic Natty Show, and I want to tell all of you to subscribe to Off Tap Life. Off Tap Life has the best reactions on all of YouTube. It's right here, so if you're not subscribed, what is wrong with you?
Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Always a pleasure kicking down notch all you beautiful souls around the globe. It's your first time, consider subscribing, join the family. Love to have you. Guys, we got another reaction request. And yeah, it's about to go down right about now. And I know you guys are probably going to be excited because we did some freaking ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. We did some of that like a while back, you know. I think it was a live performance even, so we might have even done a couple of their songs. So from memory, they're pretty awesome. So shout out to Gary H for the reaction request. It's going to be freaking solid. I already know. If you want to do your own reaction request, by the way, head over to offtap.life. We'll make it happen. But with that being said, without further ado, for me, Gary H, and all of you, we're diving in right now. So let's get off tap. Okay, yeah, I remember these guys. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let them go ahead and do what they do.
Coming home, I can't go.
catchy and fun. That's what's coming into my brain right now. Catchy and fun. I think that this song, personally, when it first started, even I got glimpses of kind of the like a bit of a Queen feel to it, a little bit. Not saying it sounded exactly like a Queen song, but there was glimpses, and I think it has something to do with the little bit of harmony action that was going on and that kind of thing like that early on, and just the quirkiness of the song, because Queen does these little quirky type of songs that just I like these interludes, those little quirky little interludes they do, and they sound like very jubilant, full of jubilee and freaking just quirky happiness, like this has that feel throughout the whole song, just kind of a bit of quirky fun type feel to it. And I like that it doesn't stay in said only one specific sound, but it also kind of goes another direction a little bit, and then it comes back, not varying off too far, but just enough to allow some variation in the actual melody of the song. So really good stuff, man. I'm liking it. Let's continue. There's these groups every once in a while that, catches you off guard from their brilliance. They're so freaking dope. They're so freaking good. And you can't help but fall in love with them. You can't help but feel like, wow, what have I just experienced? Like, you can't help it. It happens pretty much every single time I open up a request from one of you guys. This is the feeling I get, because it's always something new and exciting, and something that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, where was this hiding? And, I was actually getting confused earlier on when I did UFO. In my brain, part of me was thinking, oh, ULO. We've done some of that. I really literally got them kind of mixed up, the Electric Light Orchestra with UFO. Just from the abbreviations. Like, I don't know how I did it, but I did. And it was actually, I'm glad this request came up, because I was like, oh no, that wasn't UFO. That was freaking Electric Light Orchestra that we did back in the day. So I'm really excited, because yeah, this is like kind of one of those like little treats that I wasn't expecting. And a reminder to, some of that good stuff that we glimpsed at in the past. Like, we've had glimpses of this particular group. Like I said, we have done a reaction or two to them. I remember it so clearly. They were performing live, and I think it was in the UK or somewhere, but I like remember, because I thought these guys are freaking brilliant. And brilliance, when it's able to be repeated, is something greater than just brilliance, right? Because some people can have a lucky moment where they were able to do something spectacular. We like to call them the one-hit wonders of the world, right? Where they did this one thing that was so freaking awesome, and then later you're like, what have you done for me lately? Like, what happened to you? Did you freaking literally fall off the face of the earth? Like, what? Why? What? How come you've not been able to replicate that brilliance? Why was it just only that one moment you were brilliant, and everything else, not so much? So I love it when I see repetition. I love it when I see brilliance being repeated, because that there reaffirms my notion, my initial thoughts, everything that I thought in that first moment, that first aspect of experiencing that particular sound, that group. I know then that this wasn't a fluke. This wasn't me just buying into the Kool-Aid. This is actually a group worthy of my time, and they are worthy of the praise that I give them, because I don't want to praise someone really for, you did good once, but that's it. It's kind of like your mom when you were a kid. You know, you one day clean up your room and she gives you a gold star and pats you on the back. It's like, fantastic, great. Here's a couple dollars. Go buy yourself, you know, some freaking gummy bears or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the expectation of doing that. Rewarding you with said praise isn't to be like, well, job well done. All right. And then not have that expectation for it to be repeated. The reward is the incentive to continue to not only operate at that level that you was rewarded for, but to far exceed that, to continue to operate at a freaking even higher level, to inspire you to continue to do that, because it's been seen that you're now on the right path, that you are traveling down a road that is desired and approved of, right? So it's the same thing with me when I do these reactions, and you know, I'm listening very closely. I'm like, is this a group that is just that, you know, one and done? Or are they really in it for the long haul? Have they really continued to evolve and to become something greater than what they were initially? Like Pink Floyd's a great example, right? You listen to Pink Floyd early on, already freaking awesome. They already getting the pats on the back, the gold stars, the freaking extra money to go buy gummy bears and all that. But they didn't stop there. They continued to evolve, to elevate their game, to become just master musicians. They perfected it, you know. They've just continued to evolve. And I can say that about tons of groups. I want to say that about Queen. I can't. The issue with Queen is when I don't say this in a disrespectful way. The thing is just because I'm happy with Adam Lambert. I have no issues with him. I think he's fantastic. But I feel that the hard thing with Queen is that we don't know what Queen would have become in its original incarnation, I should say. We don't really know, because we didn't have that opportunity to see them play out till now with Freddie, unfortunately, rest in peace. Like, you know, so we can though look at their body of work from when they started till that point and conclude that, yeah, absolutely, you know, they kept evolving and kept just becoming greater than they were before. Like if you originally listen to some of their earlier stuff and then you listen to their final stuff, it was way more polished, much better, super good. I remember listening to one of their earlier works. There was something that I reacted to, and they were performing in Japan or somewhere, and I listened to it and I was like, this is not good. I was shocked because it was like, this is Queen, right? And then I listened to the same thing, then they performed it later on, and it was like, wow, this is so good, this is so much better, so polished. So, you know, as you start to react to a group's music over an extended period of time, you get to really see, did they evolve, or did they stay here, or did they actually completely just fall off, right? And that's really important to me. I think that our goal in life should always be to continue to evolve, to grow, to reach a higher state, you know, to continue to surpass our own expectations and our own, you know, just thoughts of what we would be content with. Never settle for just here when you can exceed and go to there. You know what I mean? And so I feel it kind of, Queen kind of rebooted in regards to Queen, just quickly, because I didn't finish that sentence on that. But I feel like when Adam Lambert came on board, that was kind of like a reboot to kind of start that period, because in between there was also the time with what's his name, I forgot his name, Mark. I think his name was Mark, wasn't it? But yeah, they had that other vocalist for a while who kind of was in and out. People had mixed feelings on him and stuff, and then ultimately Adam became their guy, right? And the issue, again, why I can't really say that they're evolving or anything, because they have not yet like completely just they haven't gone 100% in, right? They haven't just been like, look, Adam, he's now part of the crew 100%, let's go and make new music, let's actually give Queen and Adam in this new rendition, like a new opportunity to reiteration. To absolutely now start that evolving. Because if they're only performing stuff that Queen already did before, you're already working at a minus, because no matter what you do, there's always going to be people who will always, in their head, hear Freddie singing those vocals, and it's going to be like, bro, like, you know, it's great, he's awesome, he's fantastic, but the song, you initially heard it with Freddie, so in your brain it's always only going to ever sound completely perfect and right if it's Freddie singing it. So you're doing yourself an injustice, and you can't evolve if you're just again not again, when I'm saying with this new setup with Adam being part of the mix, unless you bring new material with Adam allowed to express and be himself and to create that initial sound experience for us with something new, and not with something that's just been done a million times in the past that we all have heard and we all know how it sounds. Like, that's just the way it is, you know. Now, if it had been Freddie all this time, sure, we could measure and be like, wow, you know, when they perform live, even if they kept doing only the same music, we'd be like, oh, wow, they're just so freaking clean with it now, you know. These songs they did 30 years ago don't sound as good as they sound now, and blah, blah, blah. You can make that comparison. But, you know, I feel, this is my opinions, by the way, I just feel like it started over once you had a new person added to the group, and until you allow them to be able to do their thing their way, like in new material, not just stuff that's being recycled now and you're just singing over it, because you're not able to ever change any Queen fan's mind. You will not find one Queen fan who goes, Adam just completely has changed my mind, and you know, he's doing all of this original Queen music better than Freddie. It won't happen. Even if he is you know, vocally superior or vocally more trained, if that was the case. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, I'm using my point is saying, and I've said this to you guys many times, it doesn't matter. You could have the best singer on the planet come and sing a freaking Rebecca Black song, like Friday, and even though they could sing it perfectly, amazingly, flawlessly, and outstanding, which wouldn't be hard to do based on that point in time with the original Friday song. We're not talking about now if she performs, because she's put in the work and she's involved, and she's actually a great singer now. She's definitely has grown a lot, right? But in our brain, the original version that we heard repeatedly, multiple times, that's how the song should sound. For better or for worse, that's what our brain is now programmed to be like, that's what that song should sound like. So anything else will sound weird. It will just sound out of place. And even if it sounds great, it'll be like, but I prefer the original in all of its imperfections, you know? So that's what I like seeing. And, you know, I particularly remembered this group. I was like, yeah, I remember these guys. And my brain was just like wanting to, after not having, you know, reacted to anything of theirs in a very long time, I wanted to see how I felt this time. You know, once I realized who I was reacting to, I was like, how am I going to feel? Where is this going to take me? You know, what type of emotions? Am I going to feel that somehow that the one time I heard them, or the two times, how many times it was that just that moment where I thought these guys are brilliant? Or am I going to listen to something else that they've done and think, yeah, these guys aren't a one-trick pony, they're freaking fantastic, yeah, I ship them, you know what I mean? So thank you guys anyways for tuning in. I love each and every one of you, and yeah, I like actually bringing conversation into some of these reactions, you know, to further explain my thoughts or views on why I do react or feel certain ways in certain instances, because I think it's important. If you're doing a reaction, there's a bunch of different reasons why you have come to the conclusion that you've come to of why a song is great. Like, a song can just be great just because it's great, sure, and you can just leave it at that, because if that's your reaction, that's what you feel, There's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong answer in a reaction video, really. You feel how you feel. You react how you react. For me, being someone who is an artist myself, who's a producer, who's a singer, who's a rapper, who's a songwriter, who's a producer, who's a freaking does mixing and mastering and all these other aspects related to music production, and then the filmmaking process and making music videos and all these things I've done. I live this life. I know about it. I understand it. And me just being a freaking intuitive human being in general who actually wants to understand where and how and the who and the why and the what in a lot of instances. I'm capable of giving more of an explanation than just going, it's good. If all I said in a reaction was every time, yeah, it's good, that's it. Have a nice day. Or, I like it. I didn't like it. Alright, bye. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging anyone who does that. I know there's some people out there who basically that is their whole reaction, is them basically going, I liked it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one and let you know if I like that one too. Like, that's great, but I like to delve sometimes a bit deeper into these reactions. Not necessarily something like I can't ever also know how I'm going to react in any given situation. I feel how I feel in that moment. This one I felt almost kind of a bit of it's like an old friend visiting from the past, because I just remembered their name. Their name is, first of all, you can't forget Electric Light Orchestra. Like, freaking hell, man. That's like a dope name, Electric Light Orchestra. I remembered the name. I was excited. I was like, holy crap, these guys, yeah. Electric Light Orchestra, man. So I get excited, when I have the opportunity to make that analysis. And I think that's part of it, There's certain times it happens. It doesn't happen all the time, because most of the times I'll react to something that's completely new and I only have what's in that moment to go off of, right? But I do specifically remember these guys from before, and I was like, ooh, okay, this is a treat, like this is a real treat. And that excites me. I get really excited. I actually love tons of reactions that are groups that I freaking found favor with initially and have the opportunity to continue to explore their body of work. And you guys know the group that we've explored completely to the biggest level of anything is obviously Queen on this channel. And what a journey and what an experience. And I would dare say that there's probably some of these other groups that could provide that same level of satisfaction and anticipation and excitement of exploring their catalog in such depthness as we did with Queen, right? I think that there's probably, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, groups that I would feel like A to Z, I see that again, growth, and I see their bodies of work just getting better and better and better and better, and they never stayed complacent. And I think that is such a strong thing as an artist. You should be striving to improve off of your last project, your last, album, things like that. So I love seeing that. As an artist, if you listen to some of my original things I did back when I was like 8 or 9 or 10 years old, you would be like, how did you get here? You got signed by Sony? How? You're crap. I wasn't crap, but I just wasn't as polished and seasoned and good as I became as time passes. And that's how anyone is, if they allow themselves to put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort, put in the energy. It's like anything. You have to continue to work at it. You got to continue to practice and to learn and to evolve. Allow yourself to evolve. There's no such thing. Even Michael Jackson, doesn't matter if you were the best singer on the planet, they're still constantly doing voice training. There's constantly freaking, working on their skills and learning new things each day. There's no such thing as being completely 100% perfect and not needing to continue to work your instrument. If you're an athlete, if you don't practice and train all the time and you go out for the game, you'll probably get injured. You probably won't perform as well. You got to keep everything like a well-oiled machine, just like your cars, your vehicles, things like that. So, I think that should be the goal with any artist. And I think I've not come across any artist yet where I've gone, yeah, okay. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm biased a bit because I fall in love with these artists early on and they can't do any wrong afterwards. And maybe I need to think about that, make sure that I'm not being completely just, blindsided by the fact that I've already, from the first moment, just thought, holy crap, these guys are awesome. They can do no wrong. Because that's what happens as fans, right? We become fans and we just will support them no matter what they put out, right? And like, in reality, that album probably wasn't as good as their debut album, but we've become such mega fans now that we're just like, oh yeah, that's it, oh wow, oh. And in reality, it was like, the last album was like a 10 perfect, and this is more like a 3.5, but we're super fans. It's a 10 too. So actually, make sure that I'm completely not being completely just biased by the fact that I've fallen in love with these acts, and I'm just like, oh, gosh. When I get excited when I see the name of the artist we're performing, that I'm reacting to, I'm like, oh. Yeah. So I want to make sure. Well, thank you guys. I love you. As always, merch one to the fullest. Keep it off tap. I'm out.
Another day to live another fairy tale. It's another night to drink and then forget.